welcome to another video on the channel. Today we're doing another Minecraft Modpack video. I have not done this in a while, so bear with me. I might be a little bit rusty, but this is on the Spooky Jam Modpack for 2023, and this is probably the best, absolute best Spooky Jam Modpack that we've ever seen in a good while. So, with that said, let's get right into some of the mods here. By the way, guys, this mod pack also comes with previous Spooky Jam mods, such as the unkillable wandering traders. If you piss off the traders, they will fight you to death. That is basically what the mod does, and it makes the traders unkillable. So basically, it's a mod that overpowers the wandering traders. But of course, that is one of 50 other mods in this mod pack. We have a mod that gives things such as bats, little Halloween things, and they even shoot some stuff out. So, you know, there's a couple of bats and bees that have their little Halloween decorations and Halloween mask and all that stuff on. Bees have a 40% chance to spawn with a mask. So some of them actually have like unique custom masks, such as one of them came with a pumpkin mask right there. One of them came with a squid mask, which is right over there. And this is actually a jack-o'-lantern mask right here. So bees have their own mask, bats have a mask from a different mod, and overall, they're just really small features added to the Spooky Jam mod pack. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious, the name of the mod for the bats with the pumpkins on them heads is called the Spooky Bats, and the bee mod is the one with the scary bees, I think. Something like that. The next mod that we're taking a look at is the Pumpkin Pals mod, which basically, if you place a skulk sensor there and a card pumpkin on top, a skulk catalyst, if we get a skulk catalyst right here, and then you get a pumpkin on top, we get ourselves a Pumpkin Pal. The Pumpkin Pal has a long history with the Warden, so it likes to follow it around and all that stuff when a Warden is nearby. It also has the chance of throwing a potion effect along with a skulk pie, which I believe gives a random potion effect if you eat it. Up next, we have a Jackal Bomb, which essentially is a jack-o'-lantern themed bomb. It gives off this lovely little particle effect here. The Jackal Bomb basically gives a random potion effect to whoever stands inside of it. So in this case, I got resistance for a little while. This time I got weakness. Basically, it's the definition of a trick or treat. It could be a trick, it could be a treat. And the way to craft this lovely thing is a lantern, redstone dust, and gunpowder. Now, as it turns into nighttime, you will get yourself a witch in front of you. Hello, thumbs up. It is time for you to figure out how to connect the spooky dimension and bring familiars back to the living world. So, if you follow the witch's orders, which is oak logs on top of a crying obsidian, along with setting the thing ablaze, this was what will happen. You will get your crying obsidian here, 3 oak logs, set it ablaze, and you'll get this little weird particle thing here, like weird graphic thing, and then you get yourself a magic staff. Now you also have to get a glowstone block, or well, multiple of them, because you need to get yourself some mana up. There we go. So now you have your mana up. Alright, well, I don't know exactly what is considered as compatible, but I know for a fact that a cat is compatible. So if you absorb these cat souls, you get yourself a bunch of like different, like, I guess, cats that are absorbed to it. So you have the Spirit of Ambrose, the Spirit of Agatha, Ash, Cheshire. So I put a cat in the cauldron and right-click the cauldron, and this boy gets sent up flying, and there we got ourselves a familiar cat. The Spirit of Agatha has been bounded to the soulless target. It's basically a spectral cat over here, and I don't really know much about what the familiar does, because this is basically what it is at this point. But now we have a familiar that we have to, you know, I guess play around with. There is also creepy decor, but I unfortunately don't know how to get the blocks actually into this game. So it is right here. We have the grandfather clock, mossy cabinet, mossy stool, and crafting instructions. So that's really cool. We also have the mod creepy creepers, which adds in, well, creepy creatures to your game, such as the ghost creeper. Alongside this, we also have some snowy variant creepers, and basically creepers that blend into the scenario wherever it is. So, yeah, we have some cool creepers added to the game. When it is nighttime, a flower around you might have a chance of turning into a mob. That flower obviously determines what mob is spawned in, such as the cornflower spawning in the phantoms. So you could be out for a midnight stroll and then all of a sudden a magma slime or a blaze would spawn out of thin air because a flower nearby it turned into a mob. There is the Sip and Savor mod, which basically adds in new variants of apples to different trees, such as the Gala apple, Fuji, Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, Opal, etc. So the Fuji apple, I believe, spawns from the oak trees, and each tree spawns with its own set of apples. You can also make apple pie, you can also make apple cider, and I believe depending on the actual apple, you get a specific kind of juice. And as you can see here, you mix basically two apples together, such as the Fuji, Fuji Gala, Fuji Granny Smith, etc. And you get yourself like a specific apple juice. And the apple cider basically just gives you different levels, or I guess I should say different effects, depending on the juice that was used. Sticking with the food section, we also have different jams, including the Spooky Jam. So here we have the Spooky Jam right now, and the Spooky Jam is made with a withered rose and a berry of any kind. So now that we have the Spooky Jam, let's actually consume it, and what we get is Wither 2 for 5 seconds. Cornucopia adds in a own set of different blocks, different themes as well, such as a pumpkin set, pumpkin greatsword, pumpkin sword, and these are crafted in their own respective ways. So let's actually go over here. The pumpkin greatsword, for example, is crafted using pumpkin bricks, which are used inside of a blasting furnace, or, well, any furnace really. You put a pumpkin inside here, and you get yourself a pumpkin brick, which can be used to make the sword, and also we have to use a maple log. And maple logs are obviously obtained from a maple tree. This is what a maple tree looks like. I think there is some glitches here and there with how the trees are formed, but for the most part, that's what a maple tree is supposed to look like. Yeah, so if you find maple wood, that's used for the maple sword, and the great sword does 8 attack damage, and the pumpkin sword, the regular sword, does 6 attack damage. So overall, it does a significant amount of damage. I think it's definitely worth using some of the stuff here. And I don't know the exact mining speed, but I'm guessing because of the sword being at this level, I'm guessing that this is basically on the level of iron, or around the level of iron. So you can mine anything that an iron pickaxe would be able to mine. And you also have chiseled, cracked, moldy, and mossy variants of the pumpkin stuff. And while I'm here, I might as well go over the Jacko Cache. Jacko Cache gets a whole lot of pumpkins into the game, like pumpkin variants such as the withered pumpkin, the spider pumpkin, basically mob variant pumpkins, and you also have the Spooky Jam pumpkin, cool pumpkin, angry pumpkin, snow golem pumpkin, illager pumpkin, etc. The way to obtain one of these pumpkins is to kill a mob with a pumpkin inside your inventory, and that will basically turn that pumpkin into that mob's head. So we still need to get up. There we go. We got it. All right. So that right there was a skeleton head that we just got. You can also turn a pumpkin into another pumpkin variant that isn't mob related, based on like where it is, the setting that it's in, or how it's used. So for example, we use the Jacko Slicer here. We get ourselves the nice pumpkin. So that's how you get the nice pumpkin. And so there's just many different ways of getting the pumpkins in general. So just mess around and eventually you will get it. I also just got a player head and generic candy, so that's pretty cool. All right, and if you get a torch and put it in your crafting menu, and with this pumpkin, you can make it into a Jacko variant of that pumpkin. So overall, really cool pumpkin mod. The Minecraft giants have been added back into Minecraft through the giant overhaul mod. So now we have some giants of the basic variant, of the drowned variant, and of the husk variant. We have 3 new giants into Minecraft, including the original giant. We have some troubling new foes within this game, as there are now cannibals in Minecraft. Here we have the Cannibal Butcher and the Cannibal, and the Cannibal Butcher is actually a mini boss. So he is very threatening, and you also have him with a bone saw. Or excuse me, it's actually called the stone saw. So the stone saw is a weapon that does 13 attack damage. So this is actually a really powerful weapon, but you also have to rev it up first before you can actually use it. And yeah, overall, very cool weapon added into Minecraft. There's also the bone trap, bone sword, and the bone mask alongside a skull lamp. All right, let's go into survival and face some of these guys. Okay. Oh, what is that? Is that a hairbrain bat? Okay. Oh, geez. I'm getting absolute wow. So guys, I was wearing the skull mask and also netherite gear, and that Cannibal Butcher destroyed me. But then again, there's also that little hairbrain bat that came out of nowhere. But overall, that's the gist of the Cannibal mod. This is the Jammies mod, where zombies and skeletons will actually dance when they're nearby a jukebox. So can you get over? Can you get over? All right, be like that. But anyways, yeah, so zombies and skeletons will dance near jukeboxes, and this is actually from the Evoodooers mod, this track in particular. So very fun mod to have inside of a Halloween-themed mod pack. So when you sleep at night, you might think that you're safe from any kind of plight that your friends might do, but guess again. So when you have yourself a bed that a player slept in, get yourself a pair of shears. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click that bed and you get to find a tuft of someone's hair. Let's say my hair. That is my hair that I just got out of my bed. And now we can make a voodoo doll of that hair. So to make a voodoo doll, you get wheat, a bone, and a tuft of hair. So let's actually get a crafting table here. So wheat with the tuft of hair and a bone, and you get my doll. So now you have yourself a voodoo doll of me, and you can use this for a variety of things, such as playing, let's say, mob sounds nearby, or also messing around and pricking the player, or just use it as a decorative option. And so that is the Evoodooers mod. Up next we have is the Reaped. So here we have the Reaped guide, which is something that you spawn in with for the first time. And you have yourselves a list of categories. Reaped Arsenal, you get to craft yourself some Reaper gear. Infernal Scythe, the Infernal Scythe is a rather expensive weapon in Reaped. For each piece of Reaper armor, the chance for a head to drop increases by 5%, starting from 0. This is a scythe which you can get heads for, and you have to make wooden staves, not wooden sticks, infernal steel ingots, which obviously we'll get over in just a second, and also infernal steel nuggets. You can also make an iron variant of this scythe, so that is a very inexpensive item that you can just make out of the start. You also have Reaper armor, which you can make using black cloth. So if you actually shift click in this book, and all these different items that you saw, you can actually find the chapters here. So black dye plus leather is black cloth. Infernal steel ingot means that you have to put a infernal steel alloy inside the furnace. An infernal steel alloy is a netherite ingot and an iron ingot. So really fairly easy recipes. Of course, the items itself, aka netherite, is really difficult to get. So obviously that's going to be the tough part. But once you get it, you can make a whole lot of good stuff out of that. So as you can see here, the Reaper boots, Reaper greaves, Reaper cloak, and Reaper hood. The full set grants the speed to the wearer, 5% beheading chance per armor piece, 2 side drops. And the Infernal Scythe comes with a 10 attack damage, 1.3 attack speed, 5% chance to behead mobs per armor piece of Reaper armor set. And that is essentially it for this Spooky Jam mod pack. Of course, like I said before, there are some other mods from the previous Spooky Jams that are in here, but the majority of the mods that I went over, actually all of them that I went over, are for the most part within this year's submission of the Spooky Jam. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked the video, if you don't want to subscribe, and if you want to subscribe, and if you don't want to, I'll see you guys next video. Take care, and goodbye.